everybody. I'm going to be playing a little bit in my art journal today. And I did this a few weeks ago, actually. And I was deleting videos and I saw it and I thought, oh, I don't think I ever showed this. So I thought I would go ahead and edit it a little bit and see if we couldn't speed it up, because it takes a good while to do this. And which is fine for me. I have the time and I really do love to do it. But first we've got to get through this ugly stage. And it's really kind of a fun stage, I think, and it's fun to kind of look back on it after you see the finished product and see how it all began. It's this kind of thing that used to stop me years ago. When I would try to paint, I would look at this and I would think, oh, this is terrible. This looks like baby stuff. This is so amateurish. I just don't know what I'm doing. And I would just give up and think, well, I can't make anything as nice as other people. So I just wouldn't do it. But I learned, and I learned that you just keep going and you just keep painting and you just keep adding things until you have something you like. So that's what you're going to see here, a little process of just keeping on and keeping it going and adding until I'm happy with it. And I was really happy with it at the end. So anyway, so I'm just really enjoying myself here. I'm not even talking. In fact, I think I even took a phone call while I was doing this on my watch, and because I know I can't have a phone call on my phone while I'm using my phone to video. So anyway, but I did cut out the phone call because I really slowed down. But I love fall, and I love the fall colors, and I really enjoyed getting into this. I think it was just about the time that I was putting away all the summer stuff, because the summer things are so pretty, and they're pastel, and they're light and airy, and the pretty colors, and there doesn't seem to have as much substance to them as the fall colors. Fall colors are rich and deep, and they just kind of make my heart sing, I think, when I'm thinking about it. And so just trying to get as many different colors going here as I can to make this background. And what I was trying to do also is use up some of these oddball paint tubes that I've picked up, and they are definitely inexpensive paint tubes, and I've picked up dozens of them at the bins, and I'm going to be a lot more careful about picking them up. Although this did turn out well, it's still harder to use this inexpensive paint, because it's you have to put so many layers on to cover everything. And but I have it and I want to use it, and I'm a big believer in using what you have and using it all up and having fun with it. So that's what I'm doing. And this was a good time for me to come across this video, because today I just took a break and I decided to go out and see the colors. So I got in the car and just drove out to the country and drove around and just enjoyed the beautiful colors that everything is right now. We're just at the point where leaves are dropping pretty heavily, but most of the trees are still really full, and the sugar maples are beautiful. That's my favorite tree. That's my favorite of all the fall colors and all the fall trees is the sugar maples. And they are at their peak right now. So anyway, it was just a nice time. I spent a couple hours driving, and which can be doggone expensive at this point. But I did stop at Fulton Farms, and I think I made a video there a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago. So it's been a good while since I've been out there. And just enjoyed walking through their pumpkin patch, going into the shop, and it's a big barn. It's a great big barn. It's open air and it's cold. There's no heat in there, but everything is so country and so fallish that it's just, a pleasure to just walk through and just see all the jams and jellies and everything that's been preserved, and all the fall treats and the fall produce. And I did buy myself a nice big red apple, even though that's not a keto thing to have, but it was a fall thing to have. And I was hungry for it, and it smelled so good. They had hot cider going, and they had all kinds of treats, and I thought, I'm just going to treat myself to a nice, delicious, crisp red apple. And I will tell you, it was really delicious. I so enjoyed that apple. I went out and I sat in the car and watched some of these dads. It was all dads bringing their children to the pumpkin patch and picking out pumpkins and wheeling them around in wheelbarrows. And there were just, baskets and baskets of mums everywhere, all different colors, and all the pumpkins. The pumpkins were not all orange. They had a lot of the white pumpkins too. And of course they had the vintage car and a vintage train and just all kinds of things. And anyway, it was just such a pleasure because sitting outside in the sunshine, it was quite warm, even though it has been very chilly here in Dayton. So I just thoroughly enjoyed that. And then I drove home and I pulled into my favorite little cemetery. I thought I had seen something there when I drove past it on my way out. But when I went back, whatever it was that I saw didn't look the same. And so I didn't really see much of anything, but I did get some nice pictures, and I made a little reel, kind of a spooky little reel, because I don't know what it is about cemeteries and the fall weather or feeling or whatever, but I think it's just the best time to visit a cemetery is when the leaves are all crunchy underfoot and the trees are colorful and the year is winding down, and it's just, I don't know, it seems like every fall I stop at a cemetery, not this one all the time, but some cemetery, and spend some time there. So So anyway, that was my day today. That's what I did. And then I came home and my son had put a roast on in the crock pot, and oh my gosh, it smelled so good. And I was waiting for him to finish mowing the lawn. He was not so much mowing the lawn to cut the lawn, but to crunch up all the leaves. So while he was busy doing that, I thought I'd wait and have dinner with him and not eat ahead of time, even though it was really smelling good and I was starved. I just thought, well, I'll just kick back and relax and take a little bit of time and watch some videos and see what's going on with everybody. And that was fun. I caught up with a couple people that I hadn't seen in quite a few times, and of course caught up with some of the shorts and watched a few reels. Okay, well, look at this. I love the mark making here. I just grabbed the spray bottle, and it wasn't spraying. So I just made some marks with the ink, and just made it messy. Just was messy with it, and that was fun. And then I just shake it up and everything, and I actually got it to spray. Or was it a different bottle? Might have been a different bottle. But anyway, still, adding little things. Just the busier the background, the better for me. And especially when you're having fun, playing around with it. Now, I think this is where I pick it up and I start spraying. Yeah. And just adding all that splash of color makes a big difference. And especially if you can, this was a different bottle. The dark teal wasn't the spray bottle. The sprayer wasn't working. This was the green. And don't you just love that? I love the drips and everything. It made me excited. And to tell you the truth, this was about the point, I think, that I started feeling like, wow, I'm liking it now. I'm on board. Now I know that this is a page I'm gonna really, really enjoy. So, always I wanted to make sure it got good and dry before I went on with it. And, it does kind of dull the color a little bit when the ink's dry, but it's okay. It's okay. It's just, all of it is just always fun. And so I added some stamping, and you can't really see very well. I don't know why. The video just didn't show it very well, but those were leaf stamps, and I had them so that they looked like they were falling down through the page and so forth. But it's basically kind of a behind-the-scenes thing. It's not something that you're going to notice, but it's there, and there's a feeling back there. And so after I did that, I splashed white paint on it. I think that's what I'm doing here. Yeah, splashing all the white paint, and just love how that looks. Anyway, I was just so pleased. I was very pleased with how the whole thing turned out, but boy, were my hands a mess. I remember I just had my nails done, and I thought, that's kind of crazy. Well, I keep trying to use Miss Liza Minnelli, but for some reason, she just never works out on the pages for me. She's just too big. She's from one of those really large Life magazines, an old Life magazine or an old McCall's or something. And she just doesn't work in any of my journals. So I tried it and flipped it around here and there, and just wasn't giving me the vibe I wanted, even if I could have cut down. Part of the arm of the chair is still there, but not the rest of it. So I just wasn't, I don't know, anyway, it just wasn't making me feel happy. So we needed to move on and choose something else, hopefully soon. So she's out. She's out. And I had picked out this other page. I found it and cut it out, but I hadn't cut out the person on it. So I'm going to toss that down here in a minute. There we go. And it's so frustrating for me after I do all this to find out there's so much glare on pictures you can't hardly see them. But anyway, I cut her out and she was perfect. This is from a Vogue magazine, which I think has a lot of class and character, and the models are great, and the picture qualities is usually there. The page paper is nice too, so I think it just adds a lot. And I really particularly liked this picture, and I've used it. It seems like I've used it before. I think you may have seen this picture before, but anyway, I didn't have it cut out and put in on anything yet. I think maybe you saw it when I pulled it from a magazine. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But anyway, I think she just went on this page. It was just fantastic. I was very happy with it. And if you hold on, it's gonna, I'm gonna show you the finished product and you'll be able to see it very clearly. But I do like to always outline and give some shadows on the I just love a Stabilo pencil for this kind of work. And I found out too that you can get them in a lot of different colors, but I always just use the black. It's best for the shadows, I think. So anyway, I've worked on it a little bit, and I'm kind of finishing up here and adding and subtracting and just playing around with it, spending a lot of time making sure that it doesn't cover up the focal point. You want the shadowing to be on the outside of your character, not coloring on top of it. So boy, my hands were a mess by the end of this. It was really pretty much of a mess. But I did have fun. I just really enjoyed this, doing this particular one. I think part of it too is I hadn't been doing too many things in my art journal. So I tend to just do the chunky junky because it relaxes me the most. This is always just a little bit stressful for me to do. There you can get a good look at one of the leaves there. And this red did not show up very well at all. Even though the red is a nice fall color, it just didn't show up very well. But of course, I'm not done. I want to add a little bit of highlighting, and that really helps. And I do like to do everything in my own handwriting, even though it's not the best. I think in the end, that's that makes it mine. So So anyway, so I did like that, and just a simple hello fall is perfect for that. And that is basically pretty much the finished piece. I might touch up a little bit. Oh, always nice to have that border. Got to have a little bit of a border. It just finishes everything off so nice. Yeah. And I don't normally even smudge the border much. I do sometimes, but I don't think I did on this at all. So anyway, this is it. This is the finished piece, and I was pretty happy when I was done with it. I liked how the background came together, and I was very happy with my focal point. Now I did, the leaves didn't show up enough for me, so I did highlight them with a felt pen, and on looking back, I wouldn't say this to anybody but you. I probably wouldn't have done that. I probably would have left it. I'm glad I didn't do them all. I just did a few. So I wasn't as happy with it, but still, I was very happy with the whole finished product, and this is how it looks without the glare. It was much nicer. So thanks for watching, everybody. It was really fun, and I'm glad I didn't lose this all together. So anyway, and this is the whole piece all together. All right, bye-bye.